Hello, Collective, and welcome to Rocks and Rose Tarot, where we're always seeking divine guidance from Spirit, our ancestors, angels, and spirit guides. So I was called to pop on here and do a reading. I don't intend for it to be very long, but I guess that's up to Spirit. So this is a reading for the collective, and already I am getting a love reading. There is a soulmate connection coming through. So we will get into this, and if it's for you, then stick around. If not, then we will see you in the next reading. But I am getting right off the bat that it is a love reading, a soulmate connection coming through. All right, Spirit. Let's cut the deck so we can fully get into this reading. All right, Spirit, tell me what the collective needs to know. What does the collective need to know today when it comes to love? All right. So let's get these in view here. So we have the Page of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and there's our Two of Cups again, of course. The Three of Wands and the Judgment card already coming out. So let's take a look at these. So I do see already that there is somebody that, with this Page of Cups here, somebody that does want to come forward, does want to have some kind of communication with the collective. But with the Nine of Pentacles here, Knight of Pentacles, it is a slow-moving energy. I think this person tends to kind of fantasize in their head about things, but often it's just like fantasy. They do have an emotional side with the cups, which is water energy. But I think that they literally only come towards something when pigs fly. This right up here with the pig and the wings, it always makes me laugh. But there is an energy of I'll do that when pigs fly. Like, they literally set the bar really high so they don't have to go through and put any action into it. But I think that with this Knight of Pentacles, again, it's slow moving. So I think that they're in process right now. But again, here's our Two of Cups. I mean, it's definitely soulmate energy, and I think if anybody is going to make this Page of Cups, Knight of Pentacles budge, it'll be you. I just think there's a pull there. Three of Wands, I read this as you, collective. You're at the shore. You're just waiting for them to catch up. You're waiting for them to get there. It's also giving me an energy of confidence. Like, you have a confidence that they're going to show up. So you're not worried. You're just waiting on the shore. The Judgment card is here. So this is a major arcana. We'll see what else comes out. But at the moment, I think you're releasing, even just waiting. Like, I think you've been waiting. I think you know they're going to show up, but you're releasing yourself from standing at this post waiting. Like, I know they're coming, but in the meantime, I'm going to release all of this stuff that's holding me back, that's keeping me stuck. Because literally, you know that if you stand here and wait, you may be waiting years for this to happen. So you're not, there's no illusions there. You're letting go of that. All right, Spirit, what else? Thank you. Okay, so we have the Moon, another major arcana, and we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so this is coming through very clearly. I'm seeing this, definitely this message. So once you released this, you know, you released yourself from like standing here waiting, I think you becoming a little more hidden, where this Page of Cups can't just sit and like see you all the time, or like there's something that's happening here that like they were getting energy from you, but they weren't really they were able to just sit back, move real slow. But I think as soon as you went into this energy of hiding, being hidden, you're not easily accessible anymore. Now here comes the Knight of Swords, and this is very quick action. Like, I need to hurry up. I need to hop on that motorcycle because, you know, it's leaving without me. And I do believe that you're the motorcycle collective. You're not waiting. You released that. So I think you did yourself a big service by not continuing to stay here. If this soulmate knows you're going to sit here and wait, they're not going to be in any type of hurry. So I think you did shift the energy. You did. And I feel like that this may have been more recent that you made this decision. And now here comes the Knight of Swords, and on the bottom of the deck is the Chariot. That's movement. So you are forcing the wheel to move. I would not be surprised if the Wheel of Fortune doesn't pop out, but we'll see. All right, Spirit, tell us more about what's happening here. We want more of the story. I feel like we need to know what's going to happen in this next phase of the story. Okay. So this King of Cups popped out right above the Page of Cups. So I do believe this Page of Cups is graduating into King energy, which is what we always like to see, especially in a love reading. If you can see where somebody can level up, that's always a good thing. It means that they know what they're supposed to be doing. They know what the assignment was, and they're following through with the mission. So we have this King of Cups, and the Sun card came out. I do think that this Knight of Swords, once this movement got going, once they, you know, got a kick in their behind to get into gear, I think that they are doing other things in their life to level up. Now, the King of Cups, you know, seems very calm. It's very Piscean energy. Could be Cancer, Scorpio, but I mean, you see the fish there hanging down on him as a necklace on him. I think that right now this King of Cups is really trying to balance out a lot of things in their life, and being calm amongst the chaos is one of them. In the traditional tarot, you see the King of Cups sitting like on a throne, and he's kind of on an island by himself, but there's, you know, like waters all around him. Like some of them could be, you know, choppy, and, you know, there's all this movement around him, but he's trying to ground himself in that environment. So I do think this King of Cups is trying to ground himself in the environment that he's in. There has been some leveling up. We see that here. And I think that he's trying to find this happiness, this positive energy with the sun. Collective, I do believe that you are the sun. I'm just going to come out and say it. I mean, right here, you seem confident. You're standing tall. A lot of yellow energy, orange. So I think that you kind of just are the center of this positive energy, this life force for others around you, but especially for this King of Cups. And I think because this life force is somewhat of a staple in the energy for this King of Cups, I do think it is creating, it's still creating a steady kind of slow movement towards you, but I think you stabilize this person's life. Like when they move too quickly, I think they often make decisions that may not be the best, but I think focusing on this positivity does help them to move at the pace that allows them to build up their pentacles, does stabilize themselves in this energy. But it's like somebody turned the light bulb on, which is you, and it does give them guidance. And then now on the bottom of the deck is the Hierophant card. So I think that this masculine energy, King of Cups, can be male or female, but this is just the energy. This masculine here, I think, does want a traditional leveling up with the sun, you, but it's like they're just moving at the pace that they can move at. And part of me feels like this soulmate kind of expects you to come down the stairs to meet them halfway, but I feel like you've already done that. We see that here. You already were trying to meet halfway. You were on the shore. This King of Cups is in the water. You know, he's supposed to be coming this way towards shore, just like you met him at the edge of the water. You can't do that anymore, collective. This is the halfway mark. But it looks like he's just kind of like, okay, with just sitting there, taking his time, having his fun. Do not come down the stairs to meet this masculine. That's what I'm getting. Spirit is telling me, do not, because you already did. You were already here, and you waited too long, so you released that. You're here, which is what is causing this movement, and you're here, and this is why the focus still remains to stay on you. This masculine energy needs to come up here. Okay. Oh, this one. Okay, so it is a strong soulmate connection. I am getting that. I get that. But with a strong soulmate connection can also come, you know, it's not perfect. There are some things that are out of balance here, for sure. All right, Spirit, what else? What else do you have for the collective? What else do they need to know? Thank you. Okay. I mean, okay, so the cards popped out and kind of like slid these cards back. I mean, it's a little bit of a messy energy. That's what I'm getting. Messy energy, and that's, I feel like, what you've been dealing with. Okay. All right, so now we have the Hanged Man in this position right over this Three of Wands. So I think you because this union or this connection is very strong, you hung on a little longer than you would have for anybody else. You tried to see a different perspective, and and sometimes we always do that. Sometimes we do that in these connections that feel really strong. But notice the moment that you released this, you were able to hand yourself this pentacle. I think this is you giving yourself you grew this ginormous pentacle here, collective. So you deserve to give this to yourself, not necessarily share it with anybody else. And you also have the Ace of Swords. So I think when you went into hiding, you gave yourself the clarity, you gave yourself the closure that you needed. And now the Seven of Swords, right above this Knight of Swords, there's a lot of thinking, a lot of energy, air energy. So I think that when you went into hiding, you're giving yourself the clarity. I think what ended up happening was you saw that this masculine really is a bit is not who you thought they were. Like, this is my sneaky link card. This is somebody that kind of stole some things from you and doesn't intend on coming back. I mean, maybe they chased you for a while, but that's to get what they were wanting, not necessarily to give you what you deserve or want. And now we have this Five of Swords, more air energy. And I think with this, you're causing this masculine to really be up in his head. I mean, look at this. I think this is the same person going through phases. Oh, I'm in fantasy land. I'm gonna, I'll move towards this person whenever, something major happens. And then something major did happen. You let go of it. Then, I can step up. I can be this King of Cups. Okay. But you still didn't really do anything. So what's really dangerous for this masculine right now is that you can do exactly what you need. And let him be sneaky, because this is what's going to happen. Like, they're going to end up with a headache. And I would venture to say that this masculine probably has chronic headaches all the time. Because they do not put themselves in an energy that frees them from this overthinking. Like, it's somebody that continuously puts themselves in situations that are not good, but it's like they can't help themselves. Maybe there's a bit of low self-esteem, and the more attention they get, the more energy that kind of like gives them. But I mean, you were their main energy source, and you kind of cut that off. I'm interested to see what the next card's going to be here. I do. Oh, and on the bottom now is the Queen of Swords. So yeah, you're just not messing around. Like, you're just gonna say it, and who cares? I mean, what do you have to lose, right? I've kind of been in that energy for the last couple of weeks, and I feel like maybe I'm picking that up with some other people's. Like, what do I have to lose if I just say what I want to say? If I just make the move, if I just disappear, if I just release, like, what's gonna happen? Nothing. All right. Tell me more, Spirit. Tell me more of the story on this third layer of the situation. All right. So, I think because this Knight of Pentacles moved slower than what you needed, I do think that you just kind of stepped back into your power, turned the lamp back on, and gave it to yourself. I mean, Nine of Pentacles is an independence, earth energy. I mean, that's Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, so maybe that's you, or maybe you're just in this strong energy of like giving, you know, giving yourself what you should be getting from others around you. So I think that the more this masculine is in this headache energy, like you're over here just being like, oh, I don't need anybody else. Again, who cares if I do and say what I want? Like, I think you're truly independent, and I think this masculine truly is not independent at all. I think they like to be perceived as being independent and free will, but I don't think they really are. What else do you got, Spirit? Tell me more. I feel like this is really resonating with somebody. Okay. So this soulmate connection has a lot of strength to it, but I think that you're just not giving to it anymore. I think you're holding back. I think you're holding your pentacles to you. Again, because I think this Seven of Swords energy, like this King of Cups elevating, I think was just for show. Maybe they did a little bit of it, but it's just not, it's not bearing the fruit like it should. What else? So now we have the Knight of Wands. So this is knights are movement, action. So I think that I think you're just moving into a different energy. Like now, instead of waiting around, you're just creating your own movement. I think there's something untamable about you, collective. And I think it's the strongest when you're holding on to it yourself. I think you're a renewable resource of energy. And I think that when others plug into it, it feels this way. But you're plugging into it and not really giving it away anymore for free. I think that's what taps you out. And I'm hearing that doing something like maybe you listen to drumming music, like a Native American drumming. Maybe that's something that you enjoy doing. Maybe maybe fire. Maybe you light a candle and like to just have that calm you. But you are definitely turning inward and preserving your energy, and I think that is exactly why you probably have this person trying to get back into your energy, but also why you're able to like have the clarity that you want, have the abundance that you want, like you're giving it back to yourself. I don't feel like you're playing around anymore, collective. Like it is strong independence. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I feel like we're getting the full story here. So when you released and handed this pentacle that you grew to yourself, this allowed you to start on a new journey. This is the full card. It's a gorgeous card. I think you are paying attention to what nature's showing you. Maybe you see repeating numbers. Maybe there are animals or flowers that you're coming across in nature that have that sacred geometry pattern. you can see in her hand she has, it looks like an amethyst crystal. Maybe you are coming back into your practices of, you know, carrying your crystals in your pockets again. Maybe you are, you know, doing some crystal healing work, but you were on the shore like this before, but now look, like you're getting ready to fall back and just trust that this journey has you. And I think that the Page of Swords, I think now communication with you, I think anybody that comes towards you is going to really have to do their research. They're going to have to know what they're talking about. Like, you are discerning at this point. And I think because you have changed your perspective and released this waiting energy for your soulmate, you've gone into hiding. You've given yourself clarity. You've given yourself the pentacles. You're holding on to them. You're independent. You are, you know, stoking your own creative fires, it appears. You're going on this new journey. You're going to start manifesting very quickly. I mean, these 8 of Wands, that is quick movement. Like, all of these wands are just going. It is movement. So I think everything that you've wanted is coming for you in a good way. And I think it is a love reading. It started that way. We knew down here. I mean, this card came out before I even asked a question. But I think the lesson is you don't really have to wait around for this soulmate. You don't. And you know what? You might get on the other side of this journey here and realize that you don't even want this soulmate. And it's okay, because you have other soulmates. You might have one twin flame. Maybe that's who this is. But it doesn't mean you have to, you don't have to agree to be with this person. And you have other soulmates. You have other connections coming in for you, collective. And on the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. So if you are an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, or you've been in a very stable, settled earth energy for a little while, this is you. If this reading connects with you, then it's for you. If it doesn't, check out the next reading. But I do, before I end, want to get some advice for the collective. I think I'm going to use another deck. I think I'm going to use I'm going to use this one. It is the traditional tarot, although it's different illustrations, and it does have 2 bonus cards, the Well and the Artist, I believe. So I'm just interested to see, for the advice from Spirit, what comes out. So Spirit, what is your advice for the collective in dealing with the soulmate? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get a few more. Maybe 2 more. Thank you. Okay. So let's move these over just a touch. Okay. So we do have the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. We had that once already. I think that you've already made this situation move when you released and went into hiding. But I think that this King of Cups, who kind of got themselves in this 5 of Swords energy, I think they just have this like pattern of like, they get this motivation and they speed up, and then they slow down, and then they get motivated to speed up, and then they slow down again. I think that whatever you're now doing, maybe you broke a pattern, maybe you doing something different than what you normally do, is causing them to speed up again. And I think now they really want your recognition. They want you to recognize them. I think they want you to recognize that they've been in like hurt over this. And I think that a conversation is coming. Clarity, I mean, you found clarity for yourself, but I think this person is now seeking a conversation with you. And again, we're right back to this Page of Cups. I think you're going to get a surprise communication from this person. Just like it surprised them that they even wanted to communicate, I think now it's going to surprise you that they're reaching out again. And I think they're just in this cycle of wanting, like, they get motivated by you, they charge forward, and then it's like they get there, it's like they get here with this communication and then they just sit here and watch. It's like there is a issue in actually like making something happen. It's like you go through all the motions and you get there and then it's just stop. And then the Seven of Wands. Okay. So these were the advice cards. So collective, I'm going to try to put this into some kind of a coherent advice from Spirit. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out what Spirit is telling you. I think Spirit is telling you that when they show up in this kind of grand entrance, like, I'm here, and Six of Wands is also victory. So I'm showing up in this spot, like I'm victorious, I'm here. But I think you're only going to get disappointed by it. I mean, this is not a king, it's not the emperor, it's not even a page or a knight. It's like they're showing up with this good front, but it's only going to make you upset again because they need to come with all 5 cups upright. They came with 3, but they're still holding two cups in the background. It could be that they have somebody else behind them that they're just kind of keeping back there, but they're coming at you with these cups like spilled over, like, I need you. I wouldn't trust it, to be quite honest. I think that a conversation is going to be had, and I think you're going to be the Queen of Swords here. I think you're just going to say it. I think you're just going to come out and say whatever, because what do you have to lose, right? We talked about that earlier. You have nothing to lose, Spirit is saying. Just say what you're going to say. But I think, again, like, they're just going to come out, they're going to come at you with some kind of immature communication, and they may, like, show up, but they're just going to look at the pentacles. They're not even going to do anything about it. Like, I think it's just a lot of just, well, I'm just going to sit and watch. I'm just going to sit and wait, because the collective's going to take the reins and is going to tell me what I need to do. Stop doing that. Don't do that anymore. Don't tell them what they need to do. They should already know. And honestly, collective, they know. The cups are back there. They know. They know what they need to do. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few of these Romance Angel Oracle cards. And I want to know, let's see. Okay, so this one says, let your friends help you. Absolutely. Let your friends help you with the situation. Because I feel like you have some really good friends that give you good advice. And sometimes that's the best thing because you think you know, and but you don't always. There's a lot of tunnel vision happening in this situation. Okay, Spirit, tell me what's in store for the collective. What's coming for the collective in terms of love? Okay, this one says healing family issues. So I do think that right now you are healing some family issues, some wounding, but I think that's necessary for what's ahead. Spirit, what does the collective need to know in terms of love? What's coming? Is there new love? Is there going to be a partnership coming back together? What does the collective need to know? What's ahead for them in love? Okay. This one says you deserve love. Of course, you definitely do. Trust. Okay. And then this one says codependency. So it says addictions are affecting your romantic life. Yeah, I think that there's been a codependency on this person coming back, the one that's really just not showing up in a very like mature way. They just cannot hold on to that King of Cups energy. It's very immature. It's just not reliable. So I think that I would just trust that you do deserve love, but you have to get out of this like codependency energy with whoever this is. Okay, let's see. Okay, this one says religious factors. So your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I think that can be a good thing. Or bad, whatever resonates. Retreat. So I think it's time to disconnect from the world, and I think you've been doing that, and I think that's why you've been moving. There has been deception, but there is a lot of passion coming. I'm getting that this is not... I think the connection that you're releasing, the one that's been deceptive, I think it was intense, but I think there's a different passion coming. Or maybe this deceptive person brought some passion into the relationship, but it was unrequited love. There wasn't enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, because I just think that this King of Cups just can't make it. He can't make it to the end, to the finish line. That's what I'm getting. This one is romantic feelings. I think there's still some romantic feelings there, but I just think it's not enough. Yeah, this King of Cups just can't make it to the finish line. Okay, pay attention to red flags. So that's kind of your moving forward. Pay attention to all these things. Like, you do deserve love. Trust that it's coming, but you have to get rid of this codependency. You know, if religious factors are in the way of your, relationships, take a look at those. Pay attention to that. Retreat. Again, go into hiding, because, if you try to connect with the wrong energies, this deception, can really get in the middle of relationships. Passion is great, but it's not always something that creates a long-term relationship. But yeah, I think you're dealing with unrequited love, because there are romantic feelings, but there's a lot of red flags that you need to pay attention to. So, okay, on the bottom of the deck, go into separation and you will call in your soulmate. So that's, I think, you need to forgive yourself for what's happened already. But I think the the lesson to be learned in this whole reading is every time you separate and you focus on you, that's when you get the most movement. That's when love comes in. That's when your soulmate is coming in. Because you're visualizing what you deserve, and you know, you're not focusing on the things that really aren't meant to be there for very long. So, collective, that's what I have. Thank you for watching. If it resonated, please give me a thumbs up. Like the video. If you would subscribe, that would be amazing. Then you can keep up with whenever I post new videos. So I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.